What it do, Aquarius? Welcome to Tarot by Vision. This is where we come to tarot and hear messages from spirit so that we can actively co-create with the universe. It's been a minute, my dears. You know, this is a spiritual journey and process, so I am very clear. I am not in control, but it's so nice to be back with you, Aquarius. So this is going to be a reading for the first part of May 2021 for you. Hope you have been doing well. Thank you for rocking with me. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I've already prayed over our cards here, Aquarius. So let's see what messages Spirit has for us for the first part of May 2021. Okay, that popped right on out. Our first card is this, Aquarius, Knight of Pentacles. So I think for some of us, we have been experiencing a very slow, stagnant energy for a while. But the thing about this Knight of Pentacles here is that this Knight of Pentacles always reaches its destination. So it's almost like if you think of this Knight of Pentacles, it's like you're going to travel from California to Virginia. Shout out to Virginia, my home state, right? It's like you could go straight across, right? With this Knight of Pentacles, it may not go straight across. It may go way up here to Canada and then go back around down to Texas and then over back to Virginia, right? But it's going to get there. So whatever you've been experiencing, Aquarius, that you're starting to feel a little bit impatient about or you want to see some movement on, you're going to get there. So be kind to yourself. Be patient. Knight of Pentacles always reaches its destination. Okay, but it's slow, so there's probably some frustration that you've been experiencing recently, Aquarius. Okay, let's see what's next for us here. Spirit's coming through. That's the second time I saw this Two of Swords that wanted to come through here, Aquarius. So for some of us, the reason that things, okay, I get it. For some of us, the reason that things are going slow is because there are certain decisions that we need to make, right? So the progress in the finishing the journey is on the other side of some decisions, right? So for some of us, this is an emotional decision that we need to make. Or maybe for some of us, there's been an emotional situation that you've been dealing with for a very long time that you need to make some decisions about to go ahead and move forward. Okay, this is a general reading, of course, Aquarius. So whatever comes up in your consciousness and your intuition is what it is for you. So if I think for folks, it's a slow journey towards something, or you've been in a emotional state for a long time because of your indecision around something. So remember, Aquarius, to not make a decision is a decision, right? So it's like, this is about co-creating with the universe, right? Like, what do I need to do to move my situation where, you know, my intuition is telling me to go, right? So with this decision that we have to make, those are the things that we have to do to move forward toward the goal, right? So when you make the decision to not make a decision, that's a decision to like not move forward, right? So I think some of us have been in a non-committal, decision-making place for a long time, and you're probably frustrated with your own self, right? So just remember, Aquarius, this is about co-creating with the universe. You know, God does what you can't do, but the things that you need to do to move yourself along, those are decisions that you have to make and make them for you. Otherwise, you know, like I said in that analogy around, you know, getting from one place to another on that road trip, right? It's like, you know, you're going to get there eventually, but, you know, it might behoove you at some point to get there, make the decision to get it moving by making the choices that you need to make. Sorry, I know that was a roundabout way of saying it, but I hope you feel me on that. Some folks are in indecision for a long time, and it's not working for you, but you hold the key to unlock that. Make the choices that you need to make and you'll get to your destination quicker. A long roundabout way of saying that. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what's next. Okay, your next card is this. Oh, the Lovers in reverse. So for some folks, it's a relationship choice. It's something that's going on in something has been going on in your relationship for a very long time, and there are decisions that need to be made. So if that applies for you, if you're in a situation with your love or in your love life, there are some decisions that needs to be made, and some of these things may have been going on for a long time. Okay. Okay. We have to make decisions in relationships, Aquarius, because things will get stagnant, and we don't want to live a miserable life, right? These two cards wanted to pop out. Interesting. So this is this is the King of Cups coming out for your fourth card here, Aquarius, followed by this Eight of Cups, which we're going to use to clarify this King of Cups. So it's like, for some of us, it's like you've learned a lot about yourself in whatever this emotional situation is, possibly like in a relationship. You've learned a lot about yourself, and it's been going on for a long time. But it's time to walk away from some things. And this could actually be walking away from the relationship or the way that you show up or the way you communicate. But it's like a decision needs to be made. Because now that you know what that decision is, you need to go ahead and make it and walk away from that which doesn't serve you. I don't know who this is for, but those who have ears to hear, right? It's like you've already got everything you want to get out of this situation. Now it's time to walk away. So again, that could be a person, but that also could be a way that you're showing up. But this has been going on for you for a long time. And the universe is asking you to make a choice, boo. Make the choice to walk towards what's going to work for you. It's about you, Aquarius. Your happiness. Those who have ears to hear. All right, let's clarify this Knight of Pentacles here. Okay. We got the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's like your situation is stagnating because, like, there are some things that you're not doing. It's almost like, if you're trying to get out of a ditch, right? But you're like still sitting in the car, right? Like you haven't tried to, call for help, or you haven't tried to use chains, whatever the case, right? It's like you're sitting there in the ditch and it's like, okay, I'm in a fucked up situation. Okay, yeah, but you're going to stay there until you make a decision to move forward or to do something, right? So you're kind of just sitting in stagnation and in misery, Aquarius. So it's time to move out of that, babe. Final card clarifying this Knight of Pentacles here. That wanted to pop out there. This Ace of Swords in reverse. So yeah, the universe is saying that in order to get what you need, you've got to start being a little bit more proactive in the fight for yourself, Aquarius. You've been laying it back in the cut for a little bit too long, unhappy, and the universe is putting some fire under that ass. And sometimes that's what we need, because otherwise we'll stay in that ditch forever, right? It's like, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's clarify this Two of Swords, the decision. Remember, this is about you, Aquarius. At the end of the day, other people are going to take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? So this is making the choice to do what you need to do for you. Okay, let's see. Clarifying this Two of Swords, we've got this Knight of Cups in reverse. So yeah, it's time to stand in who you are, Aquarius. Make the decision to stand in who you are. In all aspects of your life, your relationships, your career, Be you and walk away from that which isn't the authentic self, or whatever behaviors are not the authentic self, or whatever relationships are not the authentic self, or being clear about the things that need to be cultivated to achieve the authentic self. Further clarifying this Two of Swords here. Yeah, we got the the Six of Wands here with this decision. So after you make the decision, you'll be able to stroll on through like in the positive direction in your life, right? So after making these choices and once you stop fighting against yourself, things are going to turn in your direction. In your favor, right? So this slow, stagnant energy will finally reach from California to Virginia, let's say, right? You'll finally get there. But it's on the other side of making some decisions and moving forward authentically. Until you're real with yourself, until you make the decision to be real with yourself, you're not going to get there. The destination is on the other side of the decision to do that, Aquarius. Let's clarify this Lovers in reverse here. All right. Okay, Queen of Wands. So for some of you, it's time to, if this is a relationship situation, or this could be a family situation, again, it's time for you to step into who you are in all of your relationships. First, if your relationship with yourself, but then show up authentically for you, and be the real you in your relationships, right? So for example, if you're having relationship issues, are you being honest with yourself first about what you feel, what you need, and then also have you relate that to the people that you're in relationship with and are having some struggle with maybe for a very long time? Remember, you triumph once you make the decision to be fully yourself, really sitting in your own throne in your own life. So basically, it's like, for example, right, it's like, if it's a relationship issue that you have, it's like, well, the authentic self doesn't want to take any bullshit, right? So then there's some things that I need to decide, make the decision to do to move into a situation that's actually something that's working for me. You don't have to settle for things that aren't working for you, Aquarius. Make the decision to not settle for things that's not working for you and get on that throne in your own life. And you know what? The people in your relationships will respect you for being authentic. Nobody respects the doormat, Aquarius. They'll walk all over you. Okay. Last card clarifying this Lovers in reverse is this. Yep, Ace of Cups. So again, on the other side of stepping into that authentic self, the universe is like, I got a lot of shit in store for you, boo. Good shit. I mean, all right. But the universe don't play though, Aquarius. It's like you're not gonna get it. A lot of you are frustrated because you want to get where you're going in the way that you've been doing things, and the universe is like, no, you have you're equipped to get there, but some of the ways that you've been trying to get there ain't working for you. That's why this Eight of Cups wanted to pop out, right? It's like, you got to walk away from what isn't working for you, and then after that decision, after that choice, there are all types of things that are on the other side that the universe is just waiting for you to accept. The universe is like, I'm waiting on you, boo. I'm waiting on you, boo. I'm waiting on you, boo. We're already into May, right? First part of May, right? So this is about now making those decisions to be purposeful. And you already know this. So let's continue. Let's do one more card to clarify, possibly two, to clarify this King of Cups around what you already know. So in your own particular situation, Aquarius, like, you know the things that you need to walk away from. The universe is asking you to do it, babe. God's not going to leave you alone or ask you to do something that you're not equipped to do. And it's fear oftentimes that prevents us from making the decisions that we need to make. That's why the Bible says fear not so often, right? There's a reason that we have those reminders. Fear is just your ego being uncomfortable with change, and the ego will fight to the death, Aquarius. Beware of that, even if it's toxic, right? So this is about, like, you know that this is about owning what you know about who you are and what you want, and walking away from anything that's not in alignment with that. So, clarifying this King of Cups, we got this. Yep. This Ten of Swords. So a lot of you already know that I need to walk away from something that's toxic, something that's not working for me. You already know that. Acknowledge your intelligence, Aquarius. You know, God's given you that. The universe, life, whatever you choose to call it, same thing, has given you your intelligence for a reason. Don't psych yourself out and act like you don't know what you know. You know. You know that it's time to walk away from some things that are not serving you, and that have not been serving you for a long time. The universe is asking you get to, babe. I'm not going to leave you by yourself, but you've got to work with me. Again, this is co-creating with the universe. I don't really think that needs any further clarification, actually. The universe is telling me to go to the... so we're going to... The final card on our traditional deck here. This is an overall for the reading, Aquarius. Wow. I felt this in my spirit with y'all here, Aquarius. Ciao. Okay. Yeah. So clarifying, yeah, makes sense. Clarifying the reading here is this Page of Swords. So Aquarius, you've got to start the fight for you. And it's going to be baby steps perhaps for you, right? But it's like start the fight to get out of whatever is toxic, whatever isn't working for you that you've been in a long time. You got to start, babe. It's time to start. It could be starting by just writing it out, right? But you need to start now because you got work to do, Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius now, right? So it's through everyone, obviously, but I think especially through Aquarius, like we are the ones who, are being asked to really evolve consciousness in a very rapid rate by following the intuition that the universe is having through us, Aquarius. And it's like, if you're in a toxic situation, how are you able to co-create with the universe? It's like, it's like all this energy that I'm using, kind of trying to either make a toxic situation work or try to, I'm just in it and kind of hoping that it's like, no, how long are you going to do that? It's now time to start. You've got to fight to get out of the toxicity in your own life because you got work to do. Can't get work done if 70% of your energy each day is fighting toxicity, Aquarius. How could you and the universe be co-creating with that 70% energy that you still are doing, entertaining some fuck shit that's been going on for a long time? The universe is asking you, start the fight for you, babe. Work with me. That's where meditation. I really recommend the tarot, to develop spiritually and really get that communication going, but whatever it works for you. But you need to start the fight for yourself. Final card with our traditional deck here. The information for the decks are below in the description. The final card here is what to keep in mind, what to remember, Aquarius, beginning of May 2021. Okay. Wow. The Four of Wands. So remember is that it's up, the thing to keep in mind is that it's up to you to walk through the door, Aquarius. It's up to you to walk through the door. In this Four of Wands here, these two rods on either side represent a door, right? And you see those folks who are on the other side of that, right? It's like they're celebrating. So on the other side of these decisions, which is that door for you, is triumph. But you've got to make the decision to walk through the door. Those of us who are old school, right? If you remember the church fans that had Jesus knocking on the door, I know it's a throwback, but work with me on this, right? We used to have the church fans that had Jesus knocking on the door, right? Which symbolizes the door of your heart. And the whole thing is like, that you have to open the door and invite Jesus in, right? On that symbolism, not to get overly religious on us, right? But that's the same symbol here, is that, you have to walk through that door. Like, in order to get the spiritual fulfillment and the things that you want, you have to make the decision to fight, right? So whatever it takes to get through that door, the final thing in our traditional deck that the universe wants to keep in mind is that you have to fight to get through that door. And you're starting to learn how to fight now. But you got to do it, because if you don't, you're going to stay where you're at. So you're going to still be down in Texas trying to get to Virginia, okay? You're going to get there, but it could be a lot easier for yourself. Those who have ears to hear, Aquarius. Okay, let's do a past, present, and future here. This reading is giving me chills. God's got you, babe. You ain't even got to worry about that. I think that's what's keeping you in a situation, is because you acting as though God ain't got you. God's got you. Don't make decisions from fear. Make decisions from faith, which has to be cultivated. That's the first step on this journey to fighting for you. You've got to cultivate your spiritual relationship with the universe, God, whatever you choose to call it, right? So that you can feel strong enough to move through the uncomfortability and start a new thing that you're being called to do. Past card is this. Six of Cups. So I think for some of us, like, we're kind of upset because a situation that we thought was going to be, that started out good, it's no longer it's no longer what you need or you've evolved out of. And it started, we're like, okay, this is cool, like this is working, but we grow and evolve, Aquarius, right? So it's like it's about not getting stuck to something that once worked. And you can still appreciate something for what it was when it worked, right? Or for what it has been in your journey, right? But that doesn't mean to get attached to staying with that, right? Just because something worked in the past doesn't mean it's always going to be for you forever. Right? But you trust in the universe to guide you. All right? So even if something used to be cool, if you're being called to something else, or a different way of being, or a different way of wanting to show up in your own life, or what you want in relationships, Aquarius, like, it's okay that if something was once cool, but it doesn't work for you anymore. That's called growth. Our present card is this. God damn. So this Lover's card is coming out in the present, in reverse, right? The same card that came out as one of our four majors here. So for some of you, I really think that there are things in a relationship that possibly once worked, but no longer are, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to like break up with a person or anything like that, but it may be like the way that the relationship has worked in its previous form needs to evolve. Or it could be you're in a situation where, like, you need to walk away. But it's clear that there's an examination that the universe is asking you, Aquarius, to do about your relationships. Now, this is the present card, and it came out here too. Remember, you can't get where you're going when you got this kind of energy, right? Even though it may have once been good before, Aquarius, if it ain't working now, boo, can it be worked out? And if not, what do I need to do? But you got to be honest about what's going on and what's going on here with this Aquarius if you want to. And that's why I think some of you have really kind of been stuck for a long time, because you got to be honest with yourself, babe. If you can't lie you're only lying to yourself. Everybody else is doing them. Okay, let's see what our future card is. Okay. The future card is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So in order to get what you want, Aquarius, you've got to understand that it's going to be you that has to cultivate it, right? So sometimes, like, we want people to change or an organization to change or whatever to change. And sometimes the universe is saying to us, like, that's not going to change, honey. You've got to cultivate what you need in your life yourself, right? So sometimes we get very attached to, like, something that used to work, right? And now you're seeing that it's not working. And it's like, well, but I want it to work. I want it to work. But it's like, but sometimes it's not meant to work any longer, right? And so now it's like, how do I cultivate what I need through self-honesty and spiritual work to now co-create with the universe a new thing? All right, so don't let fear stop you from cultivating what you need. And sometimes fear comes through, like, uncomfortability. Like, even though you're miserable as fuck, right? It's like it's comfortable, right? But God is saying, like, we're not meant to be here just to be, like, in a comfortable, stagnant, toxic situation. We're here to enjoy this beautiful Eden that we've been blessed with and enjoy life, right? That's a decision. It's a decision to cultivate that in your life for you. You got to do it for you, babe. This ain't about anybody else but you. First part of May, things to think about. Whatever the first part of May feels like for you, right? Things to keep in mind for this first part. This is about co-creating, which means you got to play your part, babe. Again, God does what you can't do, but you got to do your part. Okay, this seemed like this wanted to come out. This is our first oracle here. Wow. Angel of space clearing. It is time to clear old negative thoughts and feelings. Okay? So it's like, the universe is asking you to clear out what's not working for you and fight for that. Like, so that's like where this Page of Swords represents the beginning of a fight towards what you want, right? And so then you've got this, the Angel of Space clearing here. It's time to clear out old negative thoughts and feelings. So this could be whatever it is that's keeping you stuck in this situation. It's time to clear that out. Okay. Very direct message. Okay. Let's try that again. The universe came through, Aquarius, those who have ears to hear. Okay. Obviously, there's a specific message because these cards are usually very easy to shuffle. All right, universe, come on through for us. Okay. Next oracle card is this. Bravado, warrior guides. I actually am not as familiar with this card, so let's take a look at the book here. Bravado, warrior guides. I don't usually read from the book, but I feel led to. Okay, rebellion, liberation, courage, resistance. Does everything inside you rebel against authority, making you want to scream, "You can't control me"? If so, it's true. No one can control you unless you agree to it. The fact that you don't allow others to control you anymore is a sign of progress. It means you're moving away from a world of dependency and are claiming your personal authority as a self-directed, conscious soul ready to take responsibility for yourself. Challenging authority figures in your life is a necessary step in your growth. However, you must realize that not everyone or everything in your path is necessarily working against you. Ask your warrior guides for the courage to challenge what oppresses you and for the wisdom to know when to respect authority. Your warrior guide's message: stand up for what's important to you and ask for it. However, don't fight for its own sake. Respect the leadership and rights of others as well. Okay? Rebellion, courage, liberation, resistance. All right? So this is about being purposeful and making sure that you're not working against yourself, right? Very interesting. Okay, so our final mini clarifier is this. Wow, interesting. Sewing that right on up, our final mini clarifier is this Five of Wands, which is, this is the card of like working in collaboration with others, which is really interesting given what the message of this card from the Ask Your Guide Oracle said. Again, card descriptions are below. So the universe is asking you to know like what people that you need to work with and how to be able to manage your relationships that's going to work for everyone. Because there's some things here that aren't working here, Aquarius. So, again, I'm switching up a little bit the way I'm doing things. So I'm not going to do a full recap like I did previously in the New Year's readings. But just final thing I want to say here. The only way that you're going to get to where you're going, Aquarius, is that you fight for you. Right? If it's not working, value it for what it has been and be willing to work with the universe on your attachments and be able to move on so that you can be happy and so that you can co-create this evolution that we are being asked as signs of Aquarius to demonstrate here. Okay? So I think for some of you, you've got to grieve some things. I think for some of you, you got to look at some things in relationships and how you work with folks. Really look at those relationships, romantic relationships, family relationships, and be willing to be honest about what's not working for you. I think for a lot of us Aquarius, like, we love people, right? So oftentimes we do things that works for everybody else, right? But it's like, remember, you are a part of your family too. You are a person in your relationship too. You are a person in your organization too. Like, you matter too. What works for you matters. So it has to start mattering for you so that you can move out of stagnation, get out of that ditch and get to your destination. Okay, and so it is. Thank you for joining me here. The universe really came through. That was like, I don't know why I'm always surprised, but that was like a lot more serious than I thought it was going to be. But there's a reason why we're restarting together now, Aquarius. So much love to you. Please like and share and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Much love.